What?
Yeah!
Delete!
What?
Mamma mia!
Delete!
What?
Thank God Donald Trump's a Hulkamaniac! Oh my God!
Delete! 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 Delete!
Coming to you live from the False Finish Studios in Newburgh, New York, this is the most exciting, jam-packed wrestling podcast on the internet today. This is Spot Monkey TV, and now here's your hosts, Brandon Ligon and Michael A. Greco.
And welcome to this week's edition of Spot Monkey Radio TV. I am, of course, the voice of voices, Michael A. Greco, and joining me this week will be none other than Joe Fortune of Relevant Rasslin. Joe, welcome to the show.
Greco, it's great to be here. Relevant Rasslin in the house. Great to be part of the False Finish family this week and, riding the buzzwaves with y'all like we do back in Connecticut at Relevant Rasslin.
I like it. I like you call me Greco already. Wow, we're already at this friendship level.
Oh, yeah, bro. That's how we do it, We bring the CT love, man.
And for those wondering where Brandon is still on vacation, this piece of shit. I'm at this company for 5 goddamn years. I can't get 2 days off, but Brandon's got 6 weeks vacation. So he'll be back hopefully next week. And of course, joining us on the bones on the ones and the twos, the producers. Tony, how are you this week, sir?
I'm not making excuses, but Brandon, he's going through some stuff, so let's just,
Well, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
All right, whatever. Just saying.
For the folks that missed us last week, unfortunately, due to the tornado, basically,
The tornado
that rocked that rocked the Newburgh area. Sorry, we just, we had no power. So
had no power
we could
for-
really
Bro,
do.
it blew through Connecticut, too, pretty bad. I mean, there's actually...
Did you guys get hit up there?
Bro, pretty bad. There's a few casualties, actually, too, so,
It's not a laughing matter. It was
yeah,
pretty serious.
I don't want to no sell it, but it was pretty brutal for some people.
Yeah, no, it's
like that
definitely,
stuff shit never happens.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, no, it was definitely unfortunate. It's like you said, you want to laugh about it and stuff. To us, it's kind of funny because nothing bad happened to us, and you guys were out without power, sitting in the dark. I thought was the funniest thing, but at the same time, people did die, so I guess I shouldn't laugh at that. Whatever. Moving on to the wonderful world of professional wrestling. This week, big week, Joe. WWE signed new mega deals with NBC and Fox.
Bro, that completely blew my mind. That was a huge surprise to me. And at first, I had read 2 weeks ago that I thought that Fox didn't even want SmackDown and they only wanted Raw. So for them to pick up SmackDown, that was a big shocker. Huge money.
Yeah, I wonder if the WWE was playing hardball with Raw because of the relationship with NBC for all these years, and maybe they were just giving them a better, deal because it's Raw. But I mean, the report is that SmackDown signed for $1.2 billion.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's something like $250 million a year over 5 years.
Over 5 years.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's huge money, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool that they picked up SmackDown.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, we already found out that SmackDown is going to be moving to Fridays, and it's going to be live on FS1.
Yeah.
So that's a major sports. What's that? Yeah, it's going to be on Fridays again, and it's a major sport network. It's not just on. It's never been on a real sports network.
The only thing that worries me is on Fridays now, and it's going to go to 3 hours now, right? That's what they want to do. They want to increase it to 3 hours.
Yep.
You could look at it finally they can develop 2 separate brands, though. If one show is on USA and then the other show is on Fox, they could really actually make the brand split make sense after all these years. It will actually give it a purpose.
Well, do you feel now that because you're going to have to go with I don't know if you go with a brand split, because at the same time I agree with you, but I disagree to the point of you need as much star power as possible for 6 hours of live TV every week.
Dude, I don't know if I can commit to that much. And
I agree.
And with 4-hour pay-per-views, which in actuality are going to be 5-hour pay-per-views if you count the pre-show and the little video package gimmicks in the beginning. It could be 12 hours of wrestling content a week of WWE. I mean, I would love to see them go back to that
throw
old
in
style.
Throw in an hour of NXT.
Yeah, and what's going to happen with 205?
205, yeah, it's a lot of wrestling, man.
And one thing that I think though too is a good potential with two separate channels is even with there being so much content, maybe we finally see like the UK show come to fruition. But the problem is like they really need to change the writing style. I do like how it was, back when SmackDown and Raw were first, when SmackDown first came about, and it was still the same roster on both shows. But they really got to go back to like that writing style where they can make the storyline, to do the long-term booking and have the storylines carry over.
Yes.
It's really the writing style.
Because now what also happens now is, like you have Raw. Now, is Raw going to promote SmackDown like they do now because it's on the same network? Or like, is it going to be similar to, like, how, like, with like, the NBA, or actually, I can't even say the NBA, with, like, MLB, when there's a game on Fox and they want you to know about the game on ESPN, they just let a click little note come up saying, check out SmackDown Friday or something like that.
Can they air commercials though if it's on separate networks? I mean, of course they could plug SmackDown, but I would like I could see it go either way. They could still do the the bragging rights competitive side where Raw and SmackDown are separate, but to mingle them together again would be cool.
I think the only way they would they could promote on each, because it's not ABC, because ABC is the one that owns ESPN.
Right.
NBC doesn't, so they would probably promote each other, like Raw and SmackDown, on each other's networks. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't.
Well, no, because Universal and Fox, though, are the two things. It's two totally different companies.
Yeah.
It's not like I said, it's more similar to what it's not like what basketball does, because basketball.
But think of it in terms of the NBA and other sports, where it's like they'll show you like when they show like the upcoming games. And they show you what networks they're on.
That's what I'm saying.
They
what
might do that.
Like,
they're like, Raw will be on Monday on USA and whatever like that.
But agreeing with Joe, I don't know if they'll show like a full-fledged commercial for SmackDown on Raw like they do now.
Like I don't think they'll completely no-sell the idea that they have two brands, but will they show commercials? Maybe not.
I think in the deal, maybe they have like on the shows like the Herd with Colin Cowherd, Speak for Yourself. These wrestlers are going to start appearing on there. They're going to have ad space on their shows, because a lot of people watch those shows themselves. So they're going to probably promote the show within the network. Like it'll be on Fox, like on like Channel 5. You'll see commercials for SmackDown on FS1, like during baseball games and stuff like that. They're going to really promote this upcoming change to FS1.
I hope they'll show clips and things too. Like I mean, it's Fox, so it's not like ESPN, right? So they have like a Sports Center type show, but it would be cool for like them to actually start treating wrestling like
like a real sport.
Yeah, like we know it's fake, but
I'm shocked that it went to FS1, because a lot of the people on FS1, I watch FS1 every single day. They're all frauds. They all can't stand wrestling. Like Colin Cowherd is not a wrestling fan. Skip Bayless is not a wrestling fan.
Yeah, a lot of those guys buried wrestling.
Yeah,
before,
and
man.
all these guys are now going to be forced to have to promote SmackDown and go check out SmackDown. Well, like Colin Cowherd already started, but you could tell it's fake. It's not real. Like, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, that's good, because we get those promos like like when Hogan was on the shows back in the day, or like some of those dudes, and like Vader, he choked out the guy in the Middle East, or like when Hogan and there's that one with like Hogan and Mr. T, and the one interviewer asked like Hogan if it was real, and Hogan puts him in a sleeper hold, and the guy just collapses. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And T's like, nah, he's sleeping. He'd be all right. And like the guy wakes up and he has no clue where he is. But like, I don't know if they'll do it. I'm not saying do some physical things like that, but get some interesting promos. Cena on there, someone who's quick. Other guys who can cut like promos, like a Bray Wyatt or someone on there, or Miz, someone who's not going to take crap from, a sports anchor.
Do we now see even possibly the oh my God, the Eric Bischoff Hogan jumping on Jay Leno's show and getting matches with sports celebrities now and then again?
It might happen. It could. I mean, I will tell you for sure that I can already see like maybe John Cena on an episode of Undisputed breaking down like football. Like I can already see, because he's done it with ESPN. So I can see him doing it for
and you're going to see these guys in the crowd also at the WWE event.
All the time.
Especially the SmackDown deal doesn't go through until October of next year. October of 2019. So we have a while to go. But I mean, as far as star power, is there going to be enough like major stars? Like
No.
you have to start creating
The one thing I will
bigger
say
stars.
though, the way wrestling is today, being is like based more around pro wrestling, it actually makes sense to be on a sports network.
Okay,
It kind of like it's like when you watch New Japan on Access, I could see that on a sports network.
New Japan is also done very differently.
It's
though.
yeah, it is much differently. But I mean, I don't know how. I mean, SmackDown. I didn't know it was going to 3 hours. That's gonna be a tough sell, especially on Friday night. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to get through it.
Well, and that's the other thing, Joe. I mean, you're a young guy like the rest of us. I mean, on a Friday night, are you going to be sitting in your house watching wrestling?
Bro, I mean, even when I was in college, like 8-10 years ago, like we weren't watching SmackDown on Thursday or Friday. Like it's great that it's on Tuesdays now. I don't know. I don't even know if kids will watch it. 3 hours on Friday is asking a lot. I mean, but then, well, I mean, we did have DVR and that shit back then. But now, I mean, people will still DVR it. They can still watch Hulu or the highlights, but they just have to like make it more interesting. And you saying like about star power, and is there more star power that they can sign? Or with the shows lengthening, like, is this an opportunity for them to sign more indie talent or bring more, give more guys an opportunity to grow organically? That's like what I see. Like, they could sign more indie stars, but then it's like, well, who's left as far as the big names go, But
exactly. Other than basically like all the guys right now in Ring of Honor, like and New Japan, like Cody, Kenny, basically Bullet Club. And a couple other guys here and there. There's not much more. And are those guys going to work in the WWE?
Yeah. I will say this, though. Like, now that each show has 3 hours, it's respectively on 2 different channels. Joe makes a point about maybe it adds a little bit better of competition between the 2 brands because they're on 2 separate channels. So now they're trying to buy for different kind of ratings.
I liked when they had Raw and SmackDown separate, and they kind of had like a different... like maybe like a different booking style. Like they're so similar now. Some of the angles like just mirror each other. Like literally, it's like they give the writing staff like the same outline, and they're like, okay, just fill it in. Okay, we want a 6-woman tag. We want a a 30-minute cold promo in the beginning, and it's like, oh, we have a couple cold matches here, and then we have like the main event that's a tag match, and it's like you see the same like structure and the same beats on Raw and SmackDown. But I would love to see them.
What was so great back then is in the glory years of SmackDown, you basically had Heyman, Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes, and Stephanie McMahon, and that was it. And then everything got filtered through Vince at the end of the day. But those are 4 completely different minds that, at least it's only 4 people that have to, decide this. They say on Raw right now it's like 27 writers.
Having a writing staff is so stupid.
Yes.
And it's all Hollywood writers, and it's not fans. Like, and then the guys that actually were fans, Jimmy Jacobs, Freddie Prinze Jr., they're not even working for the company anymore.
Yeah, and imagine that. Freddie Prinze Jr., who everyone was like, oh, this is such a terrible idea, was a legit wrestling guy.
He was a good writer.
Yeah, he was a
mark. He was a good writer.
He loved wrestling.
Yeah. So now, with all this money coming in, because you have to figure now, all right, it's a $1 billion deal at least with Fox. You have to figure it's at least another $700-800 million with the USA deal. So you have to figure now, are wrestlers going to try to smarten up and maybe come up with some kind of union?
They have to at this point. It's now is I think that's a great point that you bring up, and I think it's a really good time to form a union or start asking for more money or royalties as far as things like video games go and merchandising checks, action figures, things like that. It's time to like ask for what they're worth. When you think about like, okay, they get a good salary, they have their downside, contracts, and then they have, they have their per date, money and this and that and what they make on the merchandise. But they do have to dish out a lot now, and they have to pay for their own transportation, their own food, their own, like their hotels. They have to pay, they don't have health insurance, but I feel like when they get injured or they have to go to rehab, WWE does have like some of the best doctors.
Yeah, they do the right thing by them as far as I agree.
They do the right thing by them, but now is a great time to unionize. I mean, with all that money, like, okay, how much of that money is going to, how many wrestlers are on the entire roster? What, 250 between all the brands? And then how many executives are there that are going to split up all that money? How much of that money is going to go down to the wrestlers? Like, now is the time for them to start.
That'd be pretty sick, like a players union, like a players association type deal. This way, at least you can know that someone's taking care. Because I feel like I as someone who has been a pro wrestler and who has experienced injuries, like serious ones, like you have a very short shelf life. It's not long, and in a blink of an eye, as you've seen, it can all come crashing down and be gone. And then
it's that, but it's also how far down the tree now does this go? Is it a union that starts and it's just specifically for WWE? Is it like a general, that everyone has to be a part of?
That's going to be a question that gets answered once it gets made.
Yeah, because it's going to change a lot of things now. As far as deposits and companies at risk, if it's a global wrestling union, there's going to, or at least something in the United States, there's going to have to be certain things that are part of it.
Yeah, and there's also is having a union going to also affect like the wrestling style?
Yes.
Like when I went to Mania for like the Athletic Commission in Louisiana for Mania was like so crazy with all that stuff because of like an incident that had happened there years ago where someone I broke their neck from getting a pile driver and wound up suing the Athletic Commission and got millions. So it's like that's another thing I wonder about is like the union is there, basically they want the union for the health insurance. So are they gonna have to be told like, all right, well if we give you this, you guys gotta like tone the style down.
They don't want to be liable.
Yeah, they don't, because like I know like they can, like the union's there for you, but if they pay you a lot of workman's comp and you're out for a while or a big injury, they're gonna want some of that back.
Yeah, no, it's something that's going to be very interesting. I would love to know who would be at the forefront. Like like we were talking before we went on the air about Cody Rhodes, and maybe he's the guy that's going to change professional wrestling with All In and all these ideas. Would he be the perfect guy to lead a union?
I could see. Who else I could see? Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho's pretty smart.
Maybe.
I can see Chris Jericho.
And they have people that are knowledgeable. I mean, there's a lot of guys in WWE that are smart. Xavier Woods has a PhD.
Yes, he does.
David Otunga is a lawyer. There's someone right there, Harvard grad lawyer.
The guy, Chris Nowinski, still does stuff with WWE. Yeah, because he still does that whole concussion thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that could be part of it.
As far as WWE goes, I don't think it'd be as much of an issue. It'd be like as far as stuff like that, because like Joe, you even just said.
Keep in mind, Jesse Ventura tried this in the '80s, and was exiled. Was exiled to WCW because of it.
Yeah, but with now all this.
Yeah, but now it might work.
What you're getting out with the CTE lawsuits and everything that they're.
Which I tell you right now, Jesse Ventura would probably jump right back on the train if this actually started to come about.
More than likely, I don't. That's not crazy at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's not crazy at all. What is crazy though these days is what's going on in Raw and SmackDown. And when we come back from our much deserved break, we will be talking about what the hell is going on in WWE these days.
This is John Harder wanting you to check out the Hardway Podcast, the flagship show of Hardway HQ, exclusively on the johnharder.com. Comedy segments, guests, even a Stu Hart appearance or two, like your shoulders. Check out the johnharder.com to listen to the Hardway Podcast.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here from the No Gimmicks Podcast. Tune in weekly as my tag team partner Dale Clifford and I provide you with recaps, predictions, unboxings, and interviews with some of the hottest names in professional wrestling today. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at the No Gimmicks PC, and like our Facebook page. You can visit us at www.youtube.com/the No Gimmicks Podcast. And remember, we are no gimmicks, no image, all wrestling, all the time.
Man, do I love that Hardway podcast.
Just big love to John Harder in general.
I do. You know what? It's sad that he's such a Mets fan, and it's disgusting.
Watch your mouth.
I'm sorry, I apologize. But the guy just knows his shit. I'm not going to lie. I mean, next to us, he's the next to us and Joe's podcast.
Speaking
Relevant
of
Wrestling.
Hardway podcast, big ups to Project Diverge. Did very well.
Very well. Yep.
So good for John Harder.
Good. Yep. So before we went to break, I mentioned what is the abysmal Monday Night Raw, and I don't know how you guys are feeling about it. I would like to talk about what I believe could be the worst segment ever in Monday Night Raw's history, and that was Sami Zayn bringing out Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Could this be considered racist?
Oh, definitely borderline. So lowbrow. And I just have to
make sure.
I just have to say, like, to everyone out there, like, you really can't say anything negative anymore about the Attitude Era or old Pritchard or Russo or even Cornette's booking styles. You just can't after what they've been doing the past three years. This was so awful, borderline racist, so tone deaf. I mean, this following up like Old Day, Nicholas as a tag champion, and the Bailey "This Is Your Life" segment.
Bailey, this is your life. Yeah, I'm
like
just
that.
throw
This
one in
like 4-pack is just
as bad as it. And I'm sitting there, and it's all right. I don't know how you feel about Bobby Lashley, Joe, but
I like Lashley, man.
I do not.
See, Joe, you know what? Me and you are on the same wavelength because I like Lashley too.
I like him. And I liked when he was in Impact and he was doing like the all belts
he
gimmick.
Might be the absolute worst.
See a lot of the guys at Relevant Rasslin don't like Lashley either.
Yeah,
they think he's boring.
I don't hate the guy, but I mean, at the same point, you feel bad for Sami Zayn. Because it's just like, all right, Sammy, we want you to go out there and do this. And he must have even been like, are you fucking kidding me at this
I give
point?
him props for trying. He really did try to put that over. But how can you? You can't blame him for that. You have to just blame the writers. You cannot blame him. And it's just so...
Yeah, just awful. What would have been funnier is if you just had like 3 random women come out.
I didn't understand the dudes in drag. I did not get it. I could not for the life. I assume it's because they wanted Bobby Lashley to then beat up the people in the
right.
ring.
Yes, that's
Obviously
exactly what it was.
It's women. So you figure, all right, we'll have 3 dudes in drag. People will think it's stupid. They'll boo it. Then Bobby Lashley will come out. He'll get a great reaction because, like you even said it, because you texted me that night and you're like, look, they're actually cheering Bobby Lashley because this is so bad.
Yes, it's so bad.
Because I was like, oh, yeah, wow, it actually worked. So maybe that was the goal. Maybe the whole time.
They've done him so bad since his
Exactly. That's the other thing. They've misused him so. Obviously you're doing because Lashley's not part of Money in the Bank, I don't think. So of the ladder match. So you're obviously then going to do him and Sami Zayn. I'm okay with this, but you had no other way to build this up. I liked it better when Zayn was just talking about the vertigo.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know, but I will say. I'm enjoying Sami Zayn as a heel.
This was one of the from what I read that this is one of the lowest. I think this is the lowest rated Raw since like last summer. It is the lowest rated Raw of the year
since June of last year. Yeah, it's lowest rated Raw.
Yeah, and there's like a massive drop off in the third from the second to the third.
And I'm gonna be quite honest with you, there was nothing on Monday. This past Monday, there was nothing else on.
Well, see, as a Yankee fan, I had the Yankees, so I was watching the Yankee game.
Well, as a Met fan, there was nothing on.
and Game 6 of the Caps and Lightning. This is what's happening. I'm watching other things.
I know.
Raw because
I'm finding myself watching the NBA playoffs. I'm watching more different baseball games. Like I'm watching the Yankees. I'm picking the New York Yankees over this. This is insanity.
Then we have what I like to call the pre-ejaculation of all time with Ronda Rousey now taking on Nia Jax at Money in the Bank in the contract signing.
I said Nia Jax was going to be her first, and everybody said I was crazy.
Well, you're still crazy, but yeah. Joe, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't mind putting them against each other, and I know they need to give Ronda a match at the next pay-per-view, and this is the only way, at least that's the only way that they think. But I think that the build to this was so stupid. I mean, for her to show up at the red carpet, that would have been a perfect opportunity to do a crossover angle where Nia could really emerge as a heel. Nia as a babyface just blows me. Like, I don't get it, and I'm not gonna. We make fun of Nia a lot on Relevant Rasslin. For
Oh, we do here too. Don't worry.
we make fun of Nia Snacks for various reasons, whatever. I mean, look at her. She's got. I'm sorry. She's got heel written all over her and monster. Why she didn't come out and at that red carpet event and beat the shit out of Ronda, I don't know. But also for Ronda to stand there and down dress herself and say that she didn't think that she was ready for a title. How could you? Yep. Who would say that? Who would in what I don't know in what realm of you're getting offered a championship match? Why would you ever say no? There's someone else who's more deserving. You're Ronda fucking Rousey, man. You should step up. But
what they could have did playing armchair booker, you could have had Nia just show up to this event and be like, I'm the WWE the Raw Women's Champion, and I wasn't invited to this. Who do you think you are that you could just come in and take my spot?
Yeah, you don't represent the company, and then I would love to see I would love to see something physical. The problem is they're so stuck in their bubble, they don't leave the arena. It's crazy how everything that happens has to take place in the ring or in the backstage.
Yep.
It's they come to work. They come to work on Monday or Tuesday night, and then they're there for their 3 hours, and then they go home the rest of the week. That's it. They're not wrestlers. They're just, why can't we have angles and things at other events? They're showing up at, on the red carpet, or they're showing up on, the news, or what we talked about earlier. If they're going to do angles on, the sports networks now with, Why do they just stay in their bubble? This would have been a great opportunity to put Nia over as a heel. Yes. People would have got behind this, and everybody already loves Ronda.
Even in the ring, what you could have did, like Ronda keeps doing this thing where she lifts someone up and puts them through a table. You could have had her try to lift her up and put her through a table and not be able to.
There wasn't even a every contract signing in WWE on Monday Night Raw ends with the table break, and we didn't even get one of those on Monday, or even any taunt towards it.
I'm gonna take your title and your arm. Okay, you're gonna rip her arm off? Yeah. Really? That's as bad as Daniel Bryan snap or tap.
Now here's my question.
Okay.
If Ronda comes in and whoops Nia's ass, does that make Nia look bad? Or
they made Nia look bad from day one.
Nia's always looked bad. She's never been booked as a monster.
That's the foregone conclusion. She's gonna come in. She's gonna take the belt from her.
Well, she can't lose.
So, I don't think so. I think it's going to be some kind of smosh finish. I don't see it being
that's the only thing I can see.
That's the only thing that makes sense, because you can't have Nia beat her cleanly, because then what?
I could see maybe the Money in the Bank winner cashing in.
Yeah, I guess so.
Turn it into a triple threat. And
maybe Charlotte wins, and then she can go into something with Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte can walk her through it.
Well, Charlotte's on Raw.
Is Natalie in the Money in the Bank thing?
Oh, Natalya?
Yes.
Yeah.
She is. Don't be surprised if she wins, goes heel, turns on Ronda, then walks Ronda through a little program.
Yeah, see, they were planting seeds with that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
But are they smart enough to long-term book like that? We give them too much credit sometimes.
Well, what you could do is you could have Natty win Money in the Bank, cash in later at night, do the Seth cash in, at the last minute, run out, Ronda's about to win the title, the place is going crazy, run out, win the title, and then that leads to Natty Ronda at SummerSlam, ultimately building to Ronda Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
there was some dirt sheet stuff, and on the websites where they were saying maybe they're using Nia as a pawn for Steph, she's gonna go heel, and she's now Steph's bodyguard, which is fine. Well, I wouldn't mind that, because I want Nia to finally be that monster heel.
What's funny is
WWE
I said
Awesome Kong.
I agree with you, and I had said going into WrestleMania, it should have been Triple H and Nia taking on Kurt and Ronda.
Yeah, that would have been way better.
Because at least then it's it's Ronda Rousey going against someone that's 3 times the size of her.
You could have done that too, and still had Ronda break Stephanie's arm.
Yes, exactly.
You still could have done it.
Exactly. And speaking of things that we have no idea what they're doing, for some reason they thought it was going to be a good idea to have Jinder Mahal take on Roman Reigns in Chicago. Do we not remember that they had a flag match? Oh, no, I'm sorry, not a flag, a chain match with Rusev and John Cena, and still John Cena got booed.
Yeah, dude.
I might be in the minority here, and I get a lot of shit from the Relevant Rasslin guys, but I'm a fan of both of them. I really am. I'm a Jinder fan. I enjoyed when Jinder had his little run, and I feel like maybe some of the fans ruined that. And I mean, I like Roman, but it's again, I blame the booking and the writing. Like I love them on their own, but they're just both booked so bad.
That's how I feel.
I'm a Roman guy. I'll give you Roman.
Big time Roman.
Jinder, I'm
I
warming
think
up
Jinder
to a
Mahal's not
little,
good. No, I think Jinder
but I
Mahal's-
don't see it. Yeah.
I think Jinder Mahal is. Remember we had this 2 weeks ago. We talked about the Miz and how the
Right.
Miz had to have that bad run to have this now fantastic run he's having. This is Jinder's bad run.
Yeah, Jinder's finally. He's never had this spot before.
Yeah, because now he's got the spotlight on him. He's in he's at the physique that he needs to be a star. He just needs the bad run. He needs the hiccups to go through to then eventually get what he needs on the promos, on the microphone, and then because he's getting better in the ring.
And the pieces are there. I mean, he's got his little squad with him.
Yeah.
He's got the Singh brothers, so he has his valets or his managers that can help him with his heel tactics.
Roman, we've just discussed this 1,000 times. That crowd is just telling you, just turn him heel.
Just turn him at this point.
Give him a reason for them to boo him.
Just give Roman a live mic in Chicago and let him cut a promo on them and just.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would turn him into an asshole. Yeah.
Be like you want, because they're gonna chant CM Punk. Like, you want CM Punk? Guess what? He's not here. Deal with it. And that's it. Just go with that. I would say one of the brighter spots on Monday night, Finn and Braun, I thought was a really good match. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
When he
did that running thing to Finn Balor, that looked cooler because Finn Balor's much smaller, so he just bowled him over.
Well, I like that Finn then hits him with the drop kick.
Yeah.
Oh, with the sling blade.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I like.
Now, and this will wrap up the Raw part of it. And Joe, I don't know if you'll agree with me or disagree with me. Maybe you're just a complete idiot. I don't know yet. We don't know each other long enough. I'm going to insult you once in a while because that's what I do.
We encourage the banter.
Okay, good. I would like to now rename Raw Monday Night Rollins because I feel at this moment in time, and this maybe even more than AJ Styles, there is nobody better in the WWE right now than Seth Rollins.
Dude, people dig Seth, and he is really good. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily like the promos that he's cutting. I think he's a little too much of a babyface right now.
Okay.
And sometimes I don't like his selling, but his matches are good, man. And the match with the Miz was a lot of people are putting that up as WWE match of the year already, and it's that was a really good match. I will give Rollins when he's on. I always. We always talk about at Relevant Rasslin, one of our favorite Mania moments is that cash in, when he cashed in on Brock and Roman. I do think that Seth is really carrying Raw right now. I think if he can go back to that that architect kind of gimmick, I like that when he was the architect. I don't know if I'm a big on the Kingslayer Rollins, but him being the architect and being the heel. I think it might be only a matter of time for Ambrose comes back and they have a little.
Well, it's Ambrose's turn to go heel. That's pretty much, and I agree, and that's what I think it's going to lead to. I think Ambrose is going to come back, and I can see them having a big feud over the summer. I don't think they push it too much. All right, so now we get into the Blue Grams. You know what? There were things I want to talk about. Carmelo and Asuka. Do we really care?
No.
I mean, I guess I. Not really. I like them. There's not much to say. I'm trying to find something to say. I like Carmella, but this match obviously has an extremely predictable outcome. There's really no way that Asuka can lose again. I'm not sure why they even broke the streak, but
I agree.
I think they didn't want Charlotte to look weak. You know what it is? It sucks to kind of say this, but Carmella is one of those transitional champions. She's in that era right now where remember when Edge cashed in the first time, and it was only a couple weeks before John Cena got the belt back. That's kind of where she is right now. She's not ready to be.
She's a good promo, though, man. I think she does.
Yes
she
and
does
no.
Try. She tries.
Yeah, she's hit or miss at times.
Yeah, she's hit and miss. Yeah, sometimes, like for instance, the one she did this past Tuesday wasn't bad.
Right.
But the ones with the Charlotte Flair were just not. They weren't good. But I don't think that was her so much as it was just the overall production of it with that stupid song, and I just didn't like that. whole beat Charlotte Flair thing was dumb.
Oh, you didn't like when the the pauper came out, the English dandy came out, and for the melibration, the masturbation. That's what I thought was the masturbation party. And
listen. I know a few people that have definitely masturbated plenty to Carmella. I don't blame them for that.
Facts.
Hey, when she wears the singlet, man, and the knee socks.
Oh man. The Good Brothers, the club are getting the tag title shots against the Bludgeon Brothers. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think they win the tag titles.
I think so too.
Yeah, I was shocked and so happy to finally see the Good Brothers get a title shot. We were sitting there watching it and we're like, there's no way that they're gonna put them over the Usos. It's just how it is. Like, you have I don't know, Anderson, who could arguably be one of the best singles competitors, but put in the tag team,
and who also is getting into, both of them are getting into phenomenal shape.
Yeah, they're looking so good, and like they have so much potential, and like even their promo work is like great, but with them doing that nerds thing, I don't know if
it's similar to just WWE not knowing what to do with them, and I think now that they're starting to just like they put them through every shitty thing you could put them through, and now it's kind of like, all right, we're gonna let you guys come up with your own shit. It's like,
I bet you that nerds thing was probably like Luke Gallows' thing in the locker room. Like he was probably like, because they say he's pretty over in the locker room. So he was probably in the locker room calling guys nerds because they were probably being like nerds for like video games and stuff, and they were probably like, "Oh, you should maybe try it out in a crowd. Maybe we can get a catchphrase out of it, or maybe we can get like." Because if you notice, they have the nerd meter now, T-shirts, stuff. It's usually how it works. Like they said with Austin when he did the what, it was on a phone call with Christian.
With Christian, yeah.
And all of a sudden he just said, "Yo, you should try that." So it wouldn't surprise me if that's where the nerds thing came from.
I'm just I'm just really happy to finally see them get a title shot. I mean, we've seen everything from the Usos. I love the Usos, and I think they've had a great run the last year, but they've just done everything.
What sucks about the Usos is you can't break them up.
Yeah, I know. That's
once you
break
break them up,
dude, they've never been apart.
Yeah,
and it's like that's
so it's like
their
now
gimmick.
they've hit the peak, and now they got to go back to the back of the line for a little bit.
Yeah,
until they get
back. And them as faces make no sense either because they it's just
that's
the same
why
thing.
I felt like they should have went to Raw.
Dude, the best thing ever for the Usos was the heel turn. That's when I'm trying to notice these guys.
The heel turn and making them like these like thugs, like they don't care. Yeah,
they
like
needed a gimmick like that. Yeah, there's like nobody else. They have no, African American wrestlers.
We find out at Money in the Bank it's going to be AJ versus Nakamura on a last man standing.
Who guessed that? Who guessed that?
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Tony. At this point, do we hope that this is finally the last match for a while for these two?
I know they do pretty good work together. I mean,
it's been the last 4 pay-per-views.
Yes, I know, but who's he gonna fight next?
Can they just have a serious match though? I mean, I love these two guys, but I just don't like the build. Like the kick in the balls thing or the punch in the balls thing has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the pillow fight thing was kind of. That was dumb for him to say. Oh, we're gonna have a pillow fight.
He just really bad.
I thought they were just gonna have.
Because you know what the real problem is right now. You have Nakamura. Who listen, the heel stuff with him has been really funny, and I think it's been a much better character for him as a heel. But at the same time, you don't have a good face to guide him through a promo. Not saying that, but AJ isn't great on the microphone.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that AJ's like the best in-ring guy, but his mic work is not so great. And when he was a heel in the TNA days, he had like Russo and guys to talk for him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The big thing they're lacking in their feud is like you're getting out like a designated heel and a designated face for a while until Nakamura turned. They're both kind of just doing the tweener thing, and now it's like, Nakamura is trying to get over as a heel, but doing like silly shit, like the punches in the balls and like. I want Nakamura as a heel, but I want him as a serious heel.
I think what the problem is. I think they don't know if like turning him like a serious heel will maybe the crowd will still cheer him. So they're maybe trying something like, well, let's just make him a do low blows and weird. Maybe then the crowd will boo him.
Well, that's why I think they changed the song around because now the crowd won't just do
they're trying to like not get the crowd behind him.
Yeah, they just need to develop him as Nakamura. The heel wrestler instead of Nakamura, like the entrance.
Yeah. He needs to get heel heat like that Great Elias.
Then we had what I thought was an okay match. I thought it was going to be better. They just seemed like their timing was off. Brian and Jeff fought for the winner to face Samoa Joe, which I don't understand why you just wouldn't do a triple threat match at the same time.
Yeah.
I really thought with this that they were going to do a screwy finish where, as you can tell, a bus is outside my house. They're going to do a screwy finish and it would have just been a triple threat next week. Instead, they have Brian go over on Jeff, and now with Brian Joe next week, which I'm excited about, but at the same time, I feel like it could have waited longer.
Cass has got to have some legit heat for them to put him in like a backstage segment on SmackDown, set it up perfectly for a screwy finish, and then him not even come out. There's got to be something going on with it, because that would have been. I don't think they should put Bryan in the Money in the Bank this year. You know, they got to consider his health. And Jeff's already got a belt, right? So why not just build something between those two guys? Even have Jeff and Bryan, just two vets going at it and trying to build that U.S. title. Joe should definitely go over and go into the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and I felt that toward the end, like Bryan. I have a feeling by the end of like probably Money in the Bank within a week or two that Bryan is going to go heel. Like to me, it would make a lot of sense. He's doing a lot, like the way he does the dragon screw leg whip and then puts him in the heel hook.
He changed. I noticed that he changed his finish.
Yeah, he did change the finish.
That's when you kind of know that maybe that's coming in the war when they start to change their finish. They start to do little things differently.
And when he beat Cass's ass, like, was that just there was like that bullshit online, and Cass worked the midget, the small guy.
Oh no, you can say midget on this show because I say it all the time.
I thought it was hysterical though when Cass booted the midget and just laid it into him. But
they're saying he's legitimately hurt, but I don't know.
Yeah, and then they're saying Cass got heat for that. Now they're saying he's injured again. So
he's injury prone. I told you he sucks.
He's just not. There's not a lot going on for Cass right now. I feel bad for the guy.
What's funny is like a friend of the podcast, I'm not gonna say his name, trained with Cass because Cass trained with what's his name, Johnny Rods.
Johnny Rods, yeah.
So there's a guy who trained Johnny Rods.
Rods is a great trainer, though.
Rods is a great trainer, but he said that Cass never wanted to take bumps. He
never wanted to take bumps.
Like a pussy. Yeah. So like you hear the things, and now it's kind of coming to fruition. Guy's always hurt. He's not really. That's all.
I also read today that maybe he came back a little too early from the last injury, and they were like, that really shot himself. Not to make a pun, but shot himself in the foot with that.
I know, like you don't want to kind of get lost in the shuffle when you get injured. You kind of start to see guys springboard ahead of you, and you're worried that, fuck, I'll never get back there. But you gotta let your body get to 100%. You can't rush. You can't rush the process.
Yep.
Not everybody's John Cena.
Yeah, well, John Cena's a super freak. And finally, as I like to say that, Seth Rollins is Monday Night Raw right now. At the same time, I feel the guy that could take over SmackDown, and we talked about this in the first segment about star power, I think is going to be Big E. And I have a feeling that he's going to get a massive push real soon as a singles wrestler.
He should. He's very good. He's very talented on the microphone.
I would love for Big E to finally just break away from this clown ass gimmick. I'm just tired of the New Day at this point.
No, it's too long.
I hate a lot of people will probably get pissed off at me for saying that and whatever. I just think it's so old and tired. No puns intended because of that old day shit. But like, I'm just done with it. What would be great is like look at Big E. He's a monster. Just turn him heel. And he's just sick of it. Get him sick of it. Rip the pancakes up. Rip the bootios up. Whatever you have to do. He could really be the dark horse. Money in the Bank.
I would love to see something where he either he wins Money in the Bank and just cuts loose from them, or if by like accident, like Kofi tries to help with something and accidentally cost Big E the contract.
Yeah.
See, but what would be cool is like, so they're gonna try to if they win, are they gonna do that Freebird gimmick where they're all the champion? I could see them two being like, oh, we got this now. We have the briefcase, and Big E's like, no, I won this. I won this. This isn't like when we had the tag belts. Like, this is mine. I won this. Oh, well, we helped. Like, we're the New Day. We do everything. And then Big E could just finally just get so sick of their antics.
And that's not bad. I like it.
If you think of it from that perspective, you can turn Kofi and Xavier heel and then turn Big E into a white hot face.
Yeah, that's true, too. They could try to take the briefcase for themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like the idea of Big E because he's big.
Because all honesty, Big E is obviously going to be the star of the three.
Kofi's had his time.
His time is gone and past. Kofi would be better suited to stay in a tag team with Xavier. So you kind of keep the New Day around, but it would just be now condensed versions, just be the tag team. It would be them two.
Xavier works kind of like a light schedule too,
He doesn't really wrestle that much,
and he doesn't wrestle like the big matches. Like he'll wrestle, but
they obviously put their stock and their value in Kofi and Big E.
Yeah. Yep.
Kofi's always been reliable.
It's interesting, and as it gets closer, we definitely will do a Money in the Bank podcast in a couple weeks. We're building up for that. But as far as everything goes, there's so much potential right now, but I see more of it on SmackDown than I do Raw.
Yeah.
But speaking of potential and upcoming things, we will be talking about Chris Jericho's latest, I guess you could say, interview or Instagram rant, however you want to call it, but one of the funniest
Epic
things
promo.
Jericho's ever done. Yeah, epic promo. Thank you, Joe. Wow, you know what, Joe? You've been quite well so far. You know what, Brandon, stay on vacation for a little longer. We'll be back, everybody.
Be sure to check out falsefinish.com, your source for all things False Finish Productions. Check out great content like The Nerd Site and Spot Monkey Radio. We also provide production services for any event, big or small. To inquire, hit us up on our website at falsefinish.com. That's falsefinish.com.
Don't miss a single moment of Capital Wrestling Television by subscribing to our Twitch. Twitch.tv/Capital Wrestling not only gives you a brand new episode every Monday night at 7:05, but exclusive content like Capital Wrestling's World War IV Live, exclusive Match Zero content, Capital Wrestling Binge Mode Marathons, and the upcoming Level Up with Stephen James and more. Push the button and subscribe to Twitch.tv/Capital Wrestling. Want more Capital Wrestling content? Then look no further than our Instagram. Follow @Capital Wrestling today and see every moment the Capital has to offer, as well as match announcements, merchandise deals, and more. Come to the Capital and follow our Instagram today.
And I don't care that he's the greatest of all time. I don't call him the greatest of all time. Shawn Michaels the greatest of all time, so fuck you, Tony.
Pretty much.
Oh, we're back. Anyway, Joe, I'm going to ask you this real quick. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Dude, probably Stone Cold.
Okay. I can respect that. You know what? I respect you. I do. If you would have said
How
Bret
can
Hart,
you
I
not
would
respect Macho Man Randy Savage?
I
Savage is
respect
great,
you
too.
too. The only person I don't respect is that fucking half-faced retard Bret Hart. Okay? Fuck you. Look what you did. Look what you did.
Too, though. Jesus. I patent my whole style after him.
Well, you suck too, then. All right, how about that? Velveteen Dream does a better job.
Oh, don't do that. Don't say that to me.
Anyway, sorry guys, I'm sorry. All right, back on track. Chris Jericho this week released a promo for his upcoming match while he was hiking. Joe, when you saw this thing, what was your initial reaction?
It's just great to have. I think Jericho transcends wrestling. He's like one of the only guys who can work both WWE and New Japan simultaneously, pull it off with two completely different styles and characters. I really enjoyed the first angle that he did with Naito when he showed up in the. I still think it was hysterical when he had the mask and the drag makeup on. So funny with the black lipstick and the white.
Why does he have the drag makeup
that, like,
on?
just
by the
so
way?
unnecessary, but just so typical of like just Jericho being like, crazy fucking Jericho. That's what he does. I thought it was a great angle, with the blood and the ring bell, and I got the Japanese. Pro Wrestling Weekly magazine from a couple weeks ago, and it has like a little section from whatever the pay-per-view was where Jericho did that at. And
that was Road to Danku and Danku.
Oh yeah, Dantaku, Wrestling Dantaku.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's got just like a great image, like a great shot of like when Jericho smashes the ring bell over Naito's head, and there's just blood everywhere. Mm-hmm. I know Chris from Relevant Rasslin loves cutting the Jericho promo. Naito, you fuck. Like it's great, man. I love it.
I love when he's walking through the back and he's like, "Get the fuck out of my way!" And he's just fucking yelling at.
Yeah, screaming at everyone, he just beats the shit out of everyone. He beats up the young boys. He beats up
the young boys.
Beats up Red Shoes, Ono's kid. And then this promo was it's just so funny. Like, there's Jericho on like a little spiritual, having his little meditative hike out in the woods, cutting a promo, going on a little jog, just saying that, he's crazy, and he is crazy. It's Jericho. And it was just so awesome to see him, like,
I just love the
bringing that energy.
I'm gonna beat your fucking ass.
Yeah,
but
but you gotta just you can't no sell Naito's reaction, because just for them to cut back and Naito to be doing that sleepy tranquillo gimmick was just so they're so fucking funny together. It's gonna be great. And I don't know if you saw that little there's like they had a little Twitter thing going on too, where like Naito posted a picture of him like eating something for breakfast. And I don't know, he said something to Jericho where he asked like Jericho in Spanish, like, do you understand what I'm doing? Or he's like, where's Chris Jericho? Like, I'm here eating. And Jericho is like, do you understand? Fuck off. Like, Jericho's just so funny, man. He's just so funny. Like, this is going to be great.
Yeah. Which I agree with, which will be June 9th. That'll be at the Dominion, right? Pay-per-view?
And Naito's reaction just so funny, sleeping, waking up, and just, you know.
Like, it's not like it's, another day at the office.
He's like, Jericho, well, we got the best of the Super Juniors going on here. Like, what are we really here for? It's just so funny,
right,
too.
Which is another thing, which is, this match is for the Intercontinental Championship. So, does Jericho come in and lose again, or does he maybe win the title?
Well, in that promo, he said he's going to be the champion. He's like, I'm going to come in here and be the fucking champion.
Yeah, 10-time Intercontinental champion. And I mean,
which is really funny too that he says that.
Yeah,
he counts it.
See, but that's great. Like, that's just Jericho. Like, he can do that. No one else is going to be able to like mention.
Yeah.
Ric Flair and Jericho are really the only ones, and Flair's real
16-time world champion.
Yeah, and that's disputable too. It's actually
so,
more, right? So.
I want to bring something up, and I know how Tony feels about it, and I want to get your honest opinion, Joe. And there's no wrong answer on this show, even though I'm always right, and that's some different story. Intergender wrestling. Oh, God. How do you feel about this? Like, is it something that's good, or is it something that's getting a little too played out right now?
No, I do have a take on it, because I cover a lot on one of my podcasts of Beyond Wrestling. I cover a lot of Beyond Wrestling and Women's Wrestling Revolution, and they do a lot of intergender stuff. And I am a fan of the intergender stuff when it's done right. And Beyond does it really often. Wrestle Circus does it too. Black Label Pro now. You've seen a lot of promotions do it. But there have been some pretty good matches, intergender matches this year. There was a really great match in Wrestle Circus between Tessa Blanchard and Brian Cage that I
actually saw that.
Yeah, that I'm a big fan of. I do like it. There's a lot of girls, Abby Lath, Kimber Lee. She was kind of like, that was her gimmick last year before she signed. Candice LeRae, the same thing. Now you got like Jordan Grace, who had like some really great matches in Beyond against guys like John Silver, Keith Lee, Tracy Williams. I do like the intergender stuff. I went to the intergender show in New Orleans, which was put on by Beyond and Women's Wrestling Revolution, Lit Up. And I thought that was a great one. There's some really good matches on there. I mean, Riddle and Deonna Purrazzo, that was a really good match. Josh Briggs and Davian. And even the main event, Tony Storm and Tim Thatcher. Like, when there's good, like, when you put good players in there and it's not booked as, like, comedy and, it's not, like, man versus feeble little woman, then I think it's it can be done good. You got Ellsworth doing that intergender title gimmick, which I think is fucking hilarious.
Well, see, now that's the one person that I see, and that's where I agree with you. Like, as much as I like the Tessa Brian Cage match, at the same time, a guy that size would absolutely fucking rip a woman's head.
Yeah, it does. It does really. You really do have to ask the fans to suspend.
But now, at least with the Ellsworth thing, is he's the size of a lot of women.
Yeah, and he's doing the heel thing, and he's winning cheap. I mean, I talked to him at Mania Week because he showed up at one of the shows. He showed up at, I don't remember what show it was, but he showed up and he like attacked Riddle because he had him. Okay. Because he was supposed to.
Oh, after Riddle fought Tony, the guy you like from New Japan that beat up Asuka.
Oh, Suzuki.
Oh yeah,
Suzuki.
yeah. At Bloodsport, yeah, like Riddle came, Riddle had the match with Suzuki, and then like Ellsworth came out and jumped him after, and now Ellsworth told us that like that was his idea. We were like, James, like that was great, like great. We didn't expect you to be here. It's good to set up your matches. He's having the match against Riddle at Joey Janela Spring Break 2. And he's like, yo, dude, I came up with that whole, like, he's so funny. Like, Ellsworth actually is funny. Like, I give him respect. Like, just talking to him, he was so funny. We were like, James, great promo or great, like, angle. And he's like, yo, who you think came up with that? Me, man. And we were like, really? And he's like, fuck yeah, man. I just showed up and I went in the back and they're like, what are you doing here, man? You're not booked till tomorrow. He's like, well, I'm taking my belt out there and I'm smashing Riddle in the fucking head with it. And they were like, go. So it's like, I think it's funny. He didn't defend the belt against Riddle because it's the intergender belt, but
right?
Yeah, but I think if he does like the Andy Kaufman style thing, it could be, it could be done.
I can see that.
It could be done well, but a lot of people don't like the intergender thing. I think even Cody Rhodes spoke out about the intergender wrestling.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I think like if a small guy wrestles like Bill Alfonso when he wrestled
Bueller.
That was cool. Made sense. I understood.
Right. Well, there's a lot of story there, and she whupped his ass.
She whooped his ass.
Yeah,
It was cool. You understand?
Yeah, with
even
the
when
pile drivers.
Yeah, when she won, you're like, yeah, you popped for it. I just now like, I don't believe because let's for instance just go into the real world and say let's say the best WNBA player walked onto an NBA floor right now and played LeBron James, she'd get waxed.
True.
Nothing against it. She'd get waxed. So to me, it's just like you could suspend your disbelief, but so much. Like if a girl low blows you and stuff like that, you could kind of suspend your disbelief if she smacks you and disorients you, and then and she's not involved.
Yeah, but if Nia Snack smacks you, you're gonna.
Yes. Like if Nia Snack in the ring, absolutely. But
if she finds out you ate her,
but she's getting in the ring with Bobby Lashley. Cookies. I'm still putting my money on Lashley. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's just not booked right. These people think like, oh, people are gonna want to see this girl versus this dude. And like, nah, man, it's gotta be in the right context, man. I'm all about story driving the wrestling, not the moves and the athleticism. That's how I.
Tony, I like how you averted possible racist comments there by saying Bobby Lashley and Nia Jax. So this way it wouldn't be a white man beating up a black
woman. Oh, I just thought of the first Jack guy. And he was the first Jack guy that popped into my head.
No, sorry.
It seems to be like the popular trend now, and I even saw, because I get so many invites to shit, and I'm sure you guys do too. There's like a new promotion, and I don't know if Chikara it's part of Chikara, but it's going to be run out of the Wrestle Factory in Philly. But there's
run out of the Wrestle Factory, yeah.
Yeah, it's like because I know I saw I'm friends with Drew Cordero from Beyond, so I get a lot of we are get invited to a lot of the same stuff also from being in the New England area. But I know he's going to be at that show, and he was promoting that and stuff. But there's it's a full intergender promotion. Like every match is intergender.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't believe in it.
It's like I said. There's times it makes
James
sense.
Ellsworth gimmick, with the whole Andy Kaufman thing, fantastic. And now the problem with that is that gimmick will get diminished by promotions like this.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It won't stand out, and it won't be it won't be a gimmick anymore. It'll just be a norm.
Yeah, that's why now it sucks because that's a great gimmick for James Ellsworth.
But just to speak and I don't whatever if the fans get if they get offended by this, whatever, it's it's a lot of the snowflake marks and stuff like that push for the equality thing. And I'm for that, in everything, but it's a lot of people lately have just been interpreting wrestling their own way, and you got to stick to some of the norms,
I agree with
that. You can't just interpret wrestling as this fucking art. It's wrestling, man.
Yeah.
It's wrestling. Stop.
It's supposed to be wacky.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can't always be this fair competition and these great in-ring matches. Okay, if we're going to do a Beulah versus Alfonso thing, let's build to it, but just throwing a whole card together, maybe it's not for everybody. I do like it sometimes because I think at least with that card on the Beyond card in New Orleans, they did try to match equally size or gimmick people. You had Davian versus Josh Briggs. They're both big. You had Riddle versus Deonna Purrazzo, both mat grapplers. You had Thatcher versus Storm, so they were, the UK strong style, catches and stuff. But
I'm okay with it if it makes sense and you could do some kind of build with it. But see what you're saying. I like how they would put similar styles or similar gimmicks in the same thing. But to watch a whole card of that, I would be I don't.
Yeah, you really got to be into it. You got to just be into it.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked when Beyond would do one. Oh, I don't mean to cut you off. One more thing. I liked when Beyond would just do once in a while. Okay, it's Keith Lee's gonna fight Lufisto or something like that, or Riddle's gonna fight Jordan Grace. They would do it once in a while, and The girls wouldn't always win. I mean, that was like Beyond's big thing, though, when they did the big angle with Chris Dickinson and Kimberly. So that kind of like, but that had a big payoff, you know. But her thing was that she would fight guys. So maybe if one girl has the gimmick like Kimber or Candace did, but to do the whole card, I can see how it turn off a lot of people. I definitely can.
And see, that's what I would be okay with. If you had just one girl, like if they would do like a lot of it with Tessa. If Tessa was just the one girl in these promotions that were coming in, I'd be like, all right, you know what? I get it. You know, I don't think it'll work with, you know, certain ones.
I still don't. Because it just, like, it's not within the context of what, like...
Well, I also liked it when Joey Ryan's still doing it. I was okay even doing it with, like, a tag team.
I can understand that.
Yeah, I'd
be okay with that.
Yeah, like down in at that same card, it was Joey and what's his wife's name? Laura James?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like him and Laura James against Orange Cassidy and like Session Moth Martina from Progress. And like that's kind of cool, you know, if it's like a tag team thing, but
even that, like I wouldn't mind the women and the men wrestling each other because it's a tag match.
Well, like did you like the mixed match challenge thing? That's something we didn't even talk about. We're talking about the intergender thing. WWE already kind of did it, but not quite because there was no interaction between the guys and the girls.
But I appreciate it that way. I like it. I like it that way. The women should wrestle the women. The men should wrestle the men. Like I'm not saying that every now and again it shouldn't cross over and you have your particular moment where a man and a woman cross pads and they do lock horns. But I just think for you to sit here and tell me that every single week Tessa Blanchard is going to come out and fight like a Keith Lee, especially. The guy's a fucking monster.
Yeah, I know.
I can't sit here and wrap my head around it. I'm sorry, I can't. Like, even if she wrestles guys like Stockade and stuff, I can't wrap my head around it.
I mean, you couldn't see her beat like Tremont or Walter or some or big guy.
No, exactly.
Like some of the deathmatch guys are
like all I'm saying is you can't just say like she's going to come in and wrestle AR Fox because... Okay.
Well, she did though.
Yeah, I know. I'm using him as an example. Like it's just like okay now like put her in the ring with.
I didn't like that match by the way.
Because like
Fox is better.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like guys kind of like they don't want them to look weak, so they give them these spots, and you're just like, oh god, I didn't like that. That's what I'm saying. It's just it's so unbelievable that you can't suspend your disbelief enough to believe it. For me personally, like I can't speak for everybody, but I speak for myself. That's how I feel when it comes to intergender wrestling. That's why I would like if it was in the confines of a tag match where, okay, she didn't get the tag to her tag team partner because he's not on the apron and the guy's in the ring. Now she's got to fight the guy. Okay, now let's see where it goes. Then I'm okay with it. But for just like, oh, this Sunday night, you're gonna check this girl versus this guy. It's gonna be great action. No, give me a break. Like I said, I wouldn't buy a ticket to see LeBron James play a WNBA chick. Right. Like I just wouldn't do it.
Or even better, I don't want to see Charlotte versus Roman Reigns.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it really does have to be.
If done right, I'll accept it. I can't.
And it's very set up. It's very set up that way.
Right. So, and finally, the last thing I want to bring up as we get ready to wrap up, All In 2 weeks ago, tickets went on sale, sold out in under an hour, and the name CM Punk wasn't even on the card yet, which I believe it will be at some point in some capacity. Is this the beginning of something new or just a one-time shot for Cody and the Young Bucks and what they're trying to do?
I think they could do a at least once a year, maybe once every 6 to 9 months. Okay. I'm glad that they sold out so quickly. But it is doable at a time where like indie wrestling is very popular right now. I don't know if they could do this on a consistent basis. I would like to see them. But these are the type of fans that will travel to go see these shows. And those are the people that bought the tickets. And, selling out in 30 minutes is great. Like, but can they repeat it? It could be a yearly event. It really could be.
I agree. And I think there was only a couple places you could have done this in.
Yeah, they do have to have the right market. Chicago's there's like 3 towns, like probably Chicago, maybe New York, and I don't even really know where else. Maybe somewhere in Florida.
Philly.
Philly.
Well, they could have got away with it pretty much anywhere on the Northeast Coast with Philly, New York, Boston. I think it would have worked. Yeah. Chicago, maybe parts of Florida, but something I've realized lately watching Ring of Honor, Florida for indies doesn't get the crowd that,
You know what it is? Florida's mostly families, man.
Ring of Honor did 6,500 though in
New Orleans.
Yeah, like
Well,
sold out. I was there front row, sold out. It was
Yeah, but if you think
Right,
about
but at
it,
the same point, yeah.
that's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of thousands of wrestling
Yeah,
fans.
people are
so-
gonna be there anyway.
You know, you couldn't get tickets for NXT because there was only 20,000. Well, there's still 60,000 people that can go do something else that weekend. You know, but I mean, I think it's something that I agree with you. Maybe 6 to 9 months here and there.
I will say this to you: if CM Punk shows up, okay, I don't know if he's gonna wrestle. I don't know what's gonna happen. But if he shows up, I could honestly think that this might be the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes' exit strategy from pro wrestling to maybe transition into running their own company on a regular basis.
Well, I know toward the end of this year, I don't know exactly when, the Young Bucks contract is up in New Japan.
That's all I'm saying is maybe they might.
But
I'm not saying
know
that it's going to happen, but if they might see that this might be their way out.
Final Battle is their last ROH contracted show.
Oh boy, let the Royal Rumble rumors start.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Well,
Just
if they
like
do
Omega.
a tag team Royal Rumble, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Don't put it past them after the greatest Royal Rumble ever.
Oh man. Well, guys, this was good. This was fun.
Punk better be there, and I gotta say, like, we are huge Punk fans at Relevant Rasslin, and I'm glad that you guys are too. We followed Punk for years.
Oh yeah.
First match we saw Punk was against Raven for Ring of Honor in Fairfield University in Connecticut, like
that.
years and years ago for Ring of Honor, probably like 2003.
A couple years ago, they went to a friend of ours, and Tony went to, and actually Matt the producer also was. They went to E2C2 in Chicago, and I literally went just to meet CM Punk.
Yeah, my buddy Dan, he'll listen to this and he'll appreciate me shouting this out.
Joe, this is the portion of the show that I like to plug myself, but you as our guest, I will let you plug yourself first. Anything you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, like to touch on the Punk thing too. Like, I just wanted to like shout out my crew, the Relevant Rasslin crew. Like, I know Dan, he went to a Simpsons podcast recently that these two girls from Chicago do, and CM Punk was the guest.
Oh wow.
Kind of weird, right? That Punk was on like this Simpsons podcast, and he didn't really answer anything wrestling related. And, my boy Dan, he went there and just sat, didn't act, any markish behavior or try to talk to Punk or anything like that. But I mean,
that's cool.
Oh man, I really want Punk to be out all in, man. We fantasy booked it on our last episode, and I had Punk like showing up. But yeah, like if I could just like plug what we do, that'd be
sure.
That'd be
man.
cool.
Yeah,
so
go
yeah,
nuts.
like this is Joe Fortune from Relevant Rasslin Productions, the voice of Relevant Rasslin Productions. Make sure to check out all of our social media so you can ride the buzzwaves with us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post the shows that we're going to be going to on Tumblr. We're on Periscope and Twitch, Audio Boom, Google Play. Tune in all the podcast outlets. We do reviews that are on our Facebook group notes page. We contribute to the Japanese Puro Ichiban page on WordPress. Hopefully we can get some of our reviews up on your guys' site on False Finish. And, we're working on, we already put one copy of it out, and we are currently in the printing process of putting the second issue out of our zine, like our little fanzine, our little... our homage to old school Japanese wrestling and, old Wrestling Observer and pro wrestling magazines and our punk rock ethics. We have our Relevant Rasslin zine. We are working on like some funny projects where that's concerned. I just put a PDF file of the new zine on 10 floppy disks. So, yeah, trying to just like do the retro thing, be funny, keep things relevant and retro. But yeah, that's Relevant Rasslin. That's what we do. Got a couple of podcasts, our flagship show. We have our show that covers women's wrestling revolution and beyond wrestling. Relevant Rasslin Goes Beyond. And we have,
oh man, Tony would love to be on the women's wrestling show.
And we have we also have a Japanese women's podcast, I Dream of Joshi, that we do that just covers pretty much news, results, and rumors for Japanese women's wrestling. We try to keep busy and go to as many shows as possible too, and just we've been lifelong wrestling fans, man, lifelong, and that's the glue that binds the Relevant Rasslin crew together and our friendship.
That's cool.
It's about the same.
That's
here,
awesome.
And that's how we meet other crews and, link up.
Yeah.
Cross promote, appreciate the guest spot,
Well, with Brandon not here, I'm going to be the one to say it. As host of the show, you're always more than welcome to come every week, hang out with us. I'm going to plug False Finish Productions. This is Spot Monkey TV Radio. You can follow me on Instagram at Greco_club. We got a lot going on here too. Tony?
The file False Finish Productions. Check us out, falsefinish.com. Go on for our Facebook. We live stream every Tuesday, Capital Wrestling at 7. We live stream this version of the show late nights nowadays. I noticed yesterday I live streamed it late, got some views. So I'm going to start live streaming episodes of this at late night, maybe after Raw. Like as soon as Raw ends on Monday nights, the Spot Monkey TV will air. Check out the Nerd Scythe. Plenty of comedy skits coming up the pike. We've already got about 6 out. They're really funny. And that's it. Just follow False Finish Productions across the board, man. Appreciate all the love and the support, and let's keep this train moving forward.
I agree. With that said, have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Bobby Lashley sucks.
The cream of the crop. But he doesn't